got a fracture on his lower leg there. So we'll get more information on that tomorrow. But for right now, that's what we have for you. So, and then Antonio Hamilton strained his hamstring. Fenton sprained his left ankle a bit. So those guys will get worked on. We'll go into the bye here, so we have a little time on that. Good. Again, a good team win. It was great to see the defense just bear down that last drive, and we were able to get off the field. Some strategic things that they did. I thought, well, that last play, easier said than done when you have a good kicker like they do to protect the sideline, where we did, and not allow them to get to the 40, which they tried to do. And you saw his last kick. I mean, he's got big legs. So, and then I was proud of the offense and the job that they did. EB had a great game plan, and the guys, I thought, executed it well. I think overall, both sides of the ball, probably too many penalties. You need to take care of business there. But we'll keep working on that. The bottom line is, I mentioned this to you guys earlier, that this is a good football team. They're good on special teams. They're good on offense and defense. They're well coached, and they've got good talent. So their future is bright. And so we knew we were going to have our hands full today. And I was just proud of the guys bearing down. Sometimes it's tough to do that when you're back in a bye week, but the guys put it down when they needed to. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Let's go first to Sam McDowell. Good, Sam.
Hey, Andy, you kind of touched on this a little bit, but obviously the Panthers were aggressive in their coaching decisions. 4th downs, the onside kick. Do you anticipate, because of your guys' success, that you're going to see teams take some shots like this against you pretty often, that there's an importance on sort of expecting the unexpected with you guys?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I think you're right on there, Sam. Yes, I do expect that. Yeah.
Let's go next to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy, we've asked you a lot about Patrick, and you've talked a lot about Patrick, but is this the best he's played in his 3 years? And I'm wondering if are there things that he's able to do now that he wasn't able to do year 1 or 2, or is it mostly just the mistakes are gone? You understand what I'm trying to ask?
Yeah, sure. No, listen, I think you're seeing the best of him right now. And some of it you might not see. So the things he does behind the scenes, and then whether it's look-offs, the small, subtle things. You heard Richard Sherman talk about it the other day, just the little intricacies of the offense and how he handles it. And everybody has full confidence in him doing his job. So I think EB would, say the same thing standing up here, that we have full confidence that he'll do what he needs to do to win a game. I mean, that's how he operates. And whether he's doing it during the week by showing up and working his tail off to make sure he knows the opponent, to what you see on game day.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the game plan and win. I know it's a long game that was back and forth, but a lot of people are going to be talking about that motion quarterback play that you hit Robinson for the touchdown. I'm wondering if you could share the origins of how that came to be.
Yeah, so the last 3 weeks, Pat's been messing around with it. And so I told him, I said, we're going to put it in. And he looked at me like I was crazy. But he'd been doing it, and it looked good. So said, it looks good, let's try it. And so we tried it. He goes down there during special teams, and he was messing around with a couple things. And so we put it in, and it worked.
Let's go next to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach. I was just curious if you could speak to Travis's day and what he was able to do for you guys on offense.
Yeah, I thought Travis was unbelievable. He had one of those days. Just anytime big play needed, both he and Tyreek made them, and so proud of those two, and how mature they are and how they've handled everything, and grown as men, most of all. So, but Trav had an all-pro day, which he is, but we never take that stuff for granted, whether it's Kels, Trav, so on, or Tyreek. I mean, even though these guys are some of the better players in the league, we never take that for granted. I appreciate all their hard work and what goes into it to get that show done on game day.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Andy, wanted to ask you the idea of teams obviously being aggressive, similar to what Sam McDowell asked earlier, but when you know a team is trying to be as aggressive as possible against you, does that alter your game plan in any way, shape, or form as you sort of see the game playing out in front of you?
Yeah, so I thought it was important that we at least attempted to keep the defense off the field. I mean, we had some fairly quick scores, and but at the same time, we want to put as many points on the board as we possibly can. I mean, that came in handy today. So it's not the old four corners stall here. We got to try to score, and that's hard to do in this league. But we had a couple opportunities that got past us early, but we came back and were able to get some nice shots in there that we needed. But we try to stay aggressive. To answer your question, we're going to try to always stay aggressive. Yes.
Let's go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach. From the press box, it seemed like Daniel Sorensen was shadowing Christian McCaffrey. If that was indeed the plan, how do you think Sorensen did in that matchup?
Yeah, so the plays that he was asked to do it on, I thought he did a good job. Listen, McCaffrey's a pretty good player and had a pretty good day. So we tried a couple different things on him. You got to give him different looks, and so we tried that. But listen, great players make great plays, and whether it was a big catch or his runs, they did a nice job. But I tell you, Sorensen, I thought played a respectable game there.
Got time for a couple more guys. We'll go Vahe and then Aaron. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Andy. One other thing about Travis. Early in the third quarter, it seemed you guys might have maybe needed a little jump start, that 44-yard pass to set up the touchdown. Can you just describe that play a little bit and whether it gave you that kind of juice?
Yeah, we did. We needed a jump start right there. And so he gave it to us. It was an out and up, I think is the one you're talking about. And so he did well with it. And Pat threw him a nice ball, big play. I mean, he had several big plays. I think that's one you're talking about.
Let's go last to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Coach, second game in a row where I'm going to ask you about this balance between the pass game and the run game. Are we just reading too much into it, or what do you think? Is there something leading to that disconnect?
Yeah, so we played two good run teams in a row here. Both these two are pretty solid up front. So we felt like the pass game we could execute that maybe even better than the run game, although we had some production there. And we're going to try to do what works that particular week and roll with it. So we've got good running backs, but if teams are going to try to take that away, then they got to also think about the throw game. So,
Coach, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Yep. Thanks again.
All right, guys, we get Tyreek Hill coming up next. Hey, Ty, are you ready for us?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it, baby.
All right, let's start with Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Terry, congrats on the win. The couple touchdowns is going to put you either in the league or among the lead for touchdowns. What work has gone into really becoming one of the top receivers in the NFL here?
Just being patient with my game and just staying true, to who I am. I'm always remain humble, so I feel like good things happen to like humble folks. So I'm gonna continue to work hard for this team, and always have a win first mindset. I don't get into all that chitter chatter about who's the best. I'm here to win games for the team, and if it's to be a decoy, I'll be that. If it's to get a lot of targets, I'll be that. I'm just happy to be here. So there it is.
Let's go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Ty, congrats on the win.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, it looked like in the first half that you and Patrick were just kind of barely missing connection on a few balls.
Oh yeah.
Was there anything you could really put your finger on there?
You know what? I'm gonna take all the blame right there. It's just me doing too much in my route, in a very deep route. On the left side, he threw to the corner, I believe. Yeah, I did too much to the safety, and he was like ticking too much, Pat. So it was kind of hard for him to judge, my angle. So I'm gonna take all the blame for that. We'll be better next week or whenever we play after the bye week. So.
Let's go next to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Tyreek, the touchdown pass to DeMarcus, Coach had mentioned that Patrick has been like just doing this in practice, this little quarterback in motion thing. What's that like when you guys are working on things in practice and you actually get to do them in the games? And I have a little follow-up afterwards, Brad.
Man, you know what? The crazy thing is I really didn't think that play was going to be put in, but it's Patrick Mahomes. So, it was one day at practice. He was like, 10, come over here. I got to play for you. And I seen him do his counter jet. I was like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Like, why don't you just line up and like snap the ball? But it turned out to be a great play. His creativity, just him being around Coach Reid, Coach Reid is wearing off on Pat, just the creativity and the ideas that both of them have and just collaborating, and EB too, like EB right there in the mix too. So it's just crazy, so I know we're going to have something fun after the bye week. I'm just looking forward to it.
And I wanted to ask you about the bye week. Normally, you guys would maybe be going off on a vacation or doing things. How will COVID make that different for you this time around?
You know what? I mean, I feel like a lot of guys are actually going to be smart, be cautious of the situations that they're in. And when I say that, I mean, if they go to a restaurant, they're going to be wearing the mask. If they go to a park, grocery shopping, they're going to be wearing a mask, because right now we're in a pivotal moment, because we need everybody. As you saw, close game, we need everyone. Like, we can't be like no man short. Like, I know in the NFL it's next man up, but we need everyone. So I know a lot of guys want to play, and a lot of guys are going to be smart this bye week.
Let's go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Tyler, congrats on the win. 18 targets on the game. Was there something that the Panthers were showing y'all coming into this game that you knew you were going to be this busy with 18 looks?
I mean, like I said, man, I don't go into all that. Looking forward to it. Most of the routes aren't drawn up for me. It's just Pat, just giving me a shot, I guess. So the Panthers are a great defense. So, yeah.
We got 4 left. We'll go right down the line. Sorry, with Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Tyreek, I wonder from your perspective, when you and Travis are having a good game, what's it like in the huddle when a play call comes in for a pass and either one or maybe both of you guys are going to be open for Patrick?
It's always laughs and smiles. You know what? We always try to, find situations, to have fun, within the game, depending on the score though. There was a moment in the game that we were down and we called like a deep shot, and I was like, yeah, I know I'm getting this. Kelsey was like, nah, I know I'm getting this, so it's always fun in games, man. We just want to go out and win, and just we like kind of push each other, like we always trying to see, oh man, who's going to run the best route, because we watch film together, so it's always fun in games.
Let's go next to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
8-1 going into the bye week. I'm curious what you think about the offense right now, and if you guys have put together a full 4 quarters to this point.
I feel like there's always room for improvement. No matter how great you are, in this league. Because you're in the NFL for a reason. Teams will soon figure you out. So there are tons of things that we need to improve on, whether it's running routes, whether it's blocking, whether it's throwing, whatever the case may be, man. And we will get better, because we got the guys here who wants to win, no matter what it takes, So that's why I love being on this team, because everyone wants to be great. So
let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Tyreek, you talked earlier about some of the issues you had with Pat maybe earlier in the game, but you overcame all those and obviously made some big plays to help win the game. How did you do that? What changed over the course of the game?
I mean, Pat gonna be Pat, no matter what, and I'm gonna be me, so I know if Pat overshoot me one play or if I drop a pass, we still gonna trust each other, to come back and make the next play, because that's just how we get out, and that's just for anyone, like it's not only me, it's Kelsey, McCole, D-Rob, Sammy, Pringle, Kaiser. The running backs, it doesn't matter, so that's just how we do, man.
Let's go last to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Tyreek, I was asking, Andy said that this is the best of Patrick that we're seeing right now. Compared to previous years, what does that look like from your end? And Brad, if I can, I'll just have a real quick follow.
I would say just, the year that he threw the 50 touchdowns, he was amazing, obviously. But this year, it's like he's seeing things differently. You know, he's doing more no looks. He's reading the defense better. He's changing the play. Oh, you got a lot of stuff going on, buddy.
Neighbor kid just.
Yeah, I mean, Pat. I mean, yeah, he's just great, man. That's all I'm saying. He's just great. Like he has gotten better. A lot better.
Little kids coming into the room, you know how it is. But the other thing, it looked like it was really windy today.
Yeah.
We saw it on kicks. I'm just wondering, like some of those deep passes, what did that look like for you with the wind?
So the deep passes aren't really necessarily hard. It's just like the shorter passes where they're like right up on top of you. So when Pat give you a no look and it's like rifling to you, the ball may dodge to the left. You like, oh, you like all over the place. So the shorter passes are definitely harder than the deeper ones, you know?
Ty, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks, gents.
Oh, get out of here, Ted. Get out of here, Ted.
All right, guys, we're going to have Patrick Mahomes next. We got Patrick coming up now.
Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you?
Good. Are you ready for us?
Ready to go.
Let's start with Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Patrick. Andy mentioned that the play where you're going in motion kind of came from something you were doing in practice. Can you kind of just tell us the history of that play?
Yeah, so you see me, I think, in training camp before practice, and I'm taking snaps with the centers. And so obviously I'm doing formations and stuff like that. And I started going in motion. And then after that, I had to go to Tom Melvin, our tight ends coach, and ask if it was legal for me to be in motion. And he said as long as everyone was set. And so then after I got that, I took it to special teams and started working with Trav and Tyreek on these different plays that we could run from it. And I had to start throwing like little hints to Coach Reid that we needed to try it out. And it finally got it in, and it worked out well.
Let's go next to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Patrick, if you're at liberty to do so, can you tell us what that play is called?
It's called Ferrari Right.
Let's go next to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Patrick, when you're sitting there in the first quarter and it seemed like probably 20 minutes of real time, you're sitting over on the sideline watching them go down there. Do you kind of get the feeling early you guys are going to be in an all-day game that's going to take everything you have to get through it?
We knew that coming in. I mean, if you watch the tape of the Panthers play, I mean, every single game, no matter who they play, they've been right in it. So we knew it was going to be a dogfight. We knew it was going to be something we're going to have to bring our best game. And obviously, we've learned from our previous experiences of we've had teams that have kind of held the ball out of the offense's hand and try to really milk the clock. And we understand that every opportunity and every drive is crucial. And so we learned from that of losses that we've taken in the past, and we went out there and found a way to win the game today.
Next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Patrick, along those lines, the Carolina went on that, 9-10 minute drive to start the game. Do you have to kind of calm yourself down a little bit, or maybe your teammates as well? Hey, we don't have to make it all up in one play. You need to keep some patience that it's a long game.
I think that just comes with experiences that we've had. We've been in these type of games before, and we haven't had as much success. And so I think guys were ready to go and knew how critical that first drive was to get a drive going, get our defense some time to rest up. And we did a good job of moving it down the field and getting 3 points on the board. And so it's something that you have to learn from your experiences and really just play the game no matter what the situation is.
Go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Congrats, Patrick. We've asked you iterations of this before, but it was 30 targets today for Tyreek and Trav. Just how fortunate do you feel that these weapons landed in the situation with you and Andy and sort of all you guys together in it, together?
You said 30, huh? God. Yeah, no, it's they're two special players. They're both, they really understand the offense. They know how to get themselves open, and they're hard guys to cover one-on-one. And so whenever they're working like that, we're in hard offensive stop, and you see guys that when they get their number called too, they make plays as well. And so I think it's a combination of everything, of them being as skilled as they are, them being as smart as they are, and then other guys whenever they get their number called, making plays as well.
Go next to Vahe Gregorian. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Patrick, a little along the same lines, can you take us through the 44-yard pass to Travis that kind of got you started in the third quarter? And then just one follow-up real quick, Brad, after that.
Yeah, I believe that was the one where he kind of ran like the out and up. Was it that one? Or, yeah. So the out and up one, we run that play a lot where we kind of have Trav in that position. He runs a lot of out routes and in routes. And so after we had ran it earlier in the game, we had noticed that they were really trying to drive it and really trying to make plays on the ball. And so when we got the right opportunity, we called that play, and it was a great call. And he ran a great route, and I just tried to get the ball to him, and it kind of got the drive going again, and we were able to go down and put points on the board.
And just the follow-up is just it seems like such a reliable relationship between Travis and you in particular that almost you can take it for granted. Do you feel that way?
No, I mean, it's something that I will never take for granted. I mean, to come into this offense, and I'd never played with a tight end before, and then to get the best tight end in the league, I mean, it's special, and it's something that I always have a guy that I know where he's going to be at, and he's going to continue to work.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Patrick, I have two quick questions as well. The first one is, what do you feel like you said that convinced Andy to let you try the Ferrari ride today?
Well, I don't know if I said anything, but there's a time and when we're kind of going and we're kind of doing a little what's it called, like a walkthrough for the defense. And so in that walkthrough, he kind of gives us little opportunities to do little stuff that we kind of wanted to try out. And I did it there, and I think he liked how it looked there. So you have to show him. He has to see proof of it working in a live situation before he's going to put it in there.
Got three more. We'll go right down the line starting with Sam. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Patrick, just a couple minutes ago, Andy said that we're seeing the best of you, that this is the best that you've played. A lot of times that's spoken in the context of, like only one interception, right, this season. But I'm wondering if you think it's more than that. Like, are there big plays, positive plays that you're capable of making now that you weren't last year, 2 years ago? Or is it mostly sort of the bad plays are going down?
I think I just understand the game more. I was saying it last year whenever I didn't have as many stats to kind of back it up. I guess you say I felt like I was playing better last year than I did the year before. And so this year, obviously, we're getting the touchdowns that we didn't have last year, I guess you would say. But I feel like every single year I'm more comfortable within the offense. I'm more comfortable reading defenses. And I understand where the ball's going to go even before the snap of the ball.
Go next to Darren Smith. Go, Darren.
Hey, Patrick, a couple quick questions, but the first one being, they're going to ask you about the game, but obviously with the bye week coming up, what's that look like for you? I know you all been playing, balling out these last few weeks, and after today's game, I know you're going to be looking to take a break. And so how does this bye week look for you? And then again, I have a quick follow-up.
Yeah, the bye week for me is going to be I'll probably take a day off tomorrow, maybe come in and watch the film on the game today. And then I'll probably work out the next few days and then watch the Masters on the weekend. But I'll be pretty in tune. I mean, we got a pretty big one coming up after the bye week, so I'll be ready to go for that one for sure.
And then, just looking at it from 30,000 feet, obviously you and your fiance, you're going to be expecting a Princess Mahomes girl very shortly. What's it going to look like for her, knowing what all that you just got through doing with this voter registration stuff and the election, that she'd be able to, when she'll be able to grow up and watch on television, seeing a vice president that looks like her when she comes apart. And do you all plan on visiting the White House in the near future when they get there?
Well, I haven't heard what the White House thing's going to happen. I know we were kind of going through that this last offseason with the COVID situation, and hopefully we can get another championship and then have another opportunity to do that as well. But it's going to be cool. I mean, for her to be able to see someone that looks like her in such a high position, such a great position that is distinguished and has so much respect. I mean, it's going to show her that she can do whatever she wants to do, and I'm going to try to do whatever I can to give her those opportunities. And so it's going to be new to me, but I'm excited for the experience and the challenge of trying to be the best dad that I can be.
Last to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Patrick, after the missed extra point, it looked like you had gone over and gave a hug to Harrison Butker and had some words for him. And just curious, what you said to him, and with the struggles with the extra points, I mean, how important has it been just for him to have the team's back?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen him do it before. And as far as what I said, I mean, all I said was he's one of the best kickers and not the best kicker in the league. Just go out there and kick the ball. I mean, don't take it as serious. We got your back regardless. You're just as important as every other person on this team. and maybe more important. And so for him, we have all the ultimate trust in him to go out there every single time he hits the field.
Patrick, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we got Travis Kelce coming your way next.
Howdy. Oh, all right.
Hi, Trav, you ready for us?
Always ready.
All right, we'll start with Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Travis, I'm wondering, because you watch routes and film with Tyreek, what's it like in the middle of the play when you know the ball isn't going to you, but do you get a sense that you know the ball is going to Tyreek?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I think I do a little bit too much of that, is try and kind of I know see the coverage, see what they're in, and sometimes I kind of read the route for Pat back there. Not necessarily for him, but I'm reading it with him, and I think I know where the ball is going to go. And sometimes I do a little bit too much of that, and I hurt us in terms of when Pat really wants to get me the ball. But in other times, I mean, I know certain routes that when 10 gets over the top, or if I grab a defender, it's toast for the defense. So it's just it's playing around with that, but knowing exactly what the play caller and what Pat want to do with the ball.
Let's go next to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Travis, I tweeted this a while back, but I want to get your thoughts on this, man. It seems like every week you have this move where you plant hard outside or plant hard inside and go the other way. I'm curious what the origins of that move are and why you think it works so well every week.
I think the biggest thing in terms of route running for me is knowing what the defense is in. So knowing the coverage, and once you know the coverage, now you can start manipulating the defense. You can start to kind of trick them and where you're going to go and where you want to get open. And just putting my foot in the ground and being able to, get a big body to change direction. I think that's huge. I don't think a lot of tight ends incorporate that enough. I also think that I got a lot of that from playing hockey when I was younger, being able to play on the inside and outside of skates, as well as just on the basketball court, being able to put my foot in the ground and cross over. Handles weren't too good; they were a little suspect on the court, which is why I'm playing football now. But just being able to incorporate other sports into my game has definitely helped me out. So all the young guys out there that are hesitant to play another sport, make sure you get out there and you learn everything.
Go next to Steve Walls. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Travis. You talked about your younger self, which is crazy because I was going to ask you about your younger self. Nicole last week wore your Cincinnati game jersey. This week, Tyreek Hill changed his profile picture to your high school rivals photo. Talk about the fact that your teammates are paying tribute to you, to the young Travis, and what does that mean as they're showing respect to you?
We have so much fun in this offense, man, and this team, in this building. We just have a lot of great character guys that enjoy what they do. So coming in the building every single day, you're good for a few laughs. And but at the same time, that a lot of guys, this matters to a lot of people. So football is always first. So we're making sure we're taking care of business, but we're having fun with it. And shout out to Nicole, man. I don't think he knew he was helping recruiting when he did that, man. A whole bunch of Georgia wide receivers are going to think Cincinnati is big time now, which I love, man. Cincinnati's sixth in the country. Shout out to the Bearcats. And then Tyreek, he's too funny, man. I think it might have backfired on him because I found some good pictures on him as well. So it's just having fun, man. Tyreek is I really feel that my game went to a whole nother level when Tyreek got here, and then you add a speed demon like Nicole, like DeMarcus Robinson, guys that can just flat out play the game, and I'm sure we'll get Sammy Watkins back here soon. We all help each other out, and that's the best part about it, is that we communicate on the field, off the field, and just enjoy this experience together.
Go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Travis, you just said a minute ago that you feel like your game went to another level when Tyreek showed up. Can you elaborate on that, why you feel that way?
He's the deadliest threat in the National Football League. I mean, you can hand the ball off to him in the backfield. I think his first couple years, we really had him in the backfield, like handing the ball off as a running back. And then it kind of just turned into getting him in the jet sweeps and kind of the gadget plays that they call, but I mean the plays that he can absolutely kill you with, just to get him out wide and get him on a one-on-one situation. But where he's taken his game to a whole other level is the route running. I mean, you can't put a cap on his speed. It's just you can't do it. And when we see it week in, week out, he got open again today, deep, and it was just, a lot of wind. So him and Pat didn't connect on it. But I mean, it's every single week. It's not necessarily how do you stop Tyreek Hill? It's how do you contain him? And you can't contain the cheetah, man. He just keeps taking his game to another level. The biggest big play threat in the game, man. And then that's where it makes my job a whole lot easier, because he just draws so much attention being him.
Next to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Travis. So coming into the season being the reigning champs, I mean, you're going to take everybody's best shot. You got that today, but Panthers are really going for it, trying to win today. You're 8-1 now going into the bye, halfway through the run it back tour here. What's it say about this team and how proud are you of this team that you're taking everyone's best shot and you're still getting victories out of this?
I think we just take it week by week, day by day. Nobody's really thinking about, we're the defending champs, we're this, we're that. We know who we are, and we're confident that we can win every football game that we go into because of the coaches, the schemes, the players that we have in this building. And it's hats off to the Panthers today for coming in and fighting. I mean, they gave us a great fight. They almost came out with the win, and we just have to watch the film, clean it up, and move on to the next game. And we knew coming into it that we were going to have to rebuild this team. It's not like, I know we got a lot of the same players and a lot of the same coaches, but the NFL it changes every single week, so we got to make sure that or every single year. So we just got to make sure that that we're building a championship caliber team through the regular season and into the playoffs. Give us a chance to try and run it back.
Got time for a couple more. We'll go Pete and then Sam. Go ahead, Pete.
Trav, congrats on the win. Patrick today became the fastest quarterback to 100 touchdowns, and you've been here.
Got another record.
Right.
Put it on the shelf.
I remember dating back to when the Chiefs made the switch. You were actually one of the only people who was a little bit apprehensive. What do you make of going from like that feeling to now getting to be a part of a lot of those touchdowns and just watching it from really side by side?
And I mean, at that point in my career, I wanted to get Alex a Super Bowl. So that was the only thing. I loved Alex, and I still love Alex for everything that he did when he was here and how much professionalism he showed me, and how accountable he was to everybody here. But I mean, once Pat got here, even when Alex was in his last year, it's been nothing but fun, man. That guy just comes in, he balls, he has fun throughout the day doing it. He's the best quarterback that I've ever played with, and it's just looking forward to a lot more good memories, man.
We'll go last. Sam.
More records to be broken.
Let's go to Sam. That was your last. Sam.
Hey, Travis, another Patrick question for you. A lot of guys, including Andy, have been pretty consistent saying he's playing better than he ever has, which is something considering he was the MVP, right? His first year. But what does that look like from your point of view? Is it merely, and I'm not trying to discount this, but is it merely fewer interceptions, or are there plays that he's making that he wasn't capable of in the past?
It's just awareness. It's awareness. He's such a smarter player in terms of what the defenses are doing. The guy watches an unbelievable amount of film. I mean, you really the amount of film that he watches, you have to love this game. You have to love it because it's a ridiculous amount of film from years and years of just taking defensive coordinators and seeing what they've been doing in the past. And it's just it's remarkable how much information he can throw up there in his head and be able to make an instinctual decision. But seeing the defense, recognizing what the defense is in, and then just making the right throws and being accurate. I mean, I think I can definitely second or third that, however many people have been saying it. He's definitely playing his best ball right now, man.
Trav, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
All right, fellas. Have a good one.
You too. All right, guys. We have Frank Clark coming up next in a second. All right, guys. We got Frank stepping up now. Hey, Frank, you ready for us?
Yeah, I'm ready. How y'all doing?
Good. We'll get started with Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Frank, it's been a while since you got a sack. What did it feel like to get back there? And it looked like you really got rolling after that, had a little bit of pressure the next few plays. And I'll have a follow-up, Brad.
That's cool. It's like getting a sack. I got a lot of sacks in my career, so it ain't just another sack, another play, another thing I did to help my team win, you know.
And what's a bye week normally look like for you? Do you take a trip, do you go home, or will that be different this year with everything that's going on?
Yeah, I usually go back home to LA, relax a little bit, work out with my coaches and stuff like that, you know, my off-season trainers, get my body together. I spend every day that bye week working with my body coach and stuff like that. So just, you know, that me time, the real me time that you should be doing as a, you know, professional athlete.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go, Pete.
Frank, now that we are at the bye and you're going to get some of that me time, how do you think that your unit here can improve in the second half of the season?
By eliminating the mistakes. There's going to be mistakes throughout the game and throughout the season, but, you know, it's to eliminate those big mistakes, you know, those mistakes that can have a play, you know, it's the penalties, it's the mental errors and stuff. I mean, you know, the stuff you can control, stepping out your gap, not being gap sound. That's when you're getting plays running for 15, 20, those big run plays. As a receiver, catching the ball, running the right route, being on the same page as Pat. As a quarterback, making the right throws and reads. But it's just working collectively, you know, as a group, us trusting them, trusting that myself, I'm going to do what I have to do in this offseason, and during this bye week to get healthier. But things like that.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Frank, wanted to ask you about looking at Chris on the edge opposite from you on a couple snaps today. And just what did you think worked for you guys in the fourth quarter when you obviously understood the situation and not trying to give up a field goal?
The best part with me and Chris, y'all gonna see a lot more than the second half of the season. But the best part is, you know, we get to open our rush plan up a little bit more. It's kind of easy, you know, for a team to game plan when you got two of the best rushers in the league or two of the best DNs in the, you know, defensive players in the league on one side. You know, it's easy to game plan that. So, the crazy, we both like the right side. So it's like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, I told him, like, man, I want to be able to move around more. I want to be able to do more, move me everywhere. I don't care. I don't just play right end. I don't play left end. I can play the tackle, nose, and pass rush situations. I know that, you know. So just watching him on the other side, man, it was like, man, this opens up a lot of things, open up my game. You know, just allow for great things to happen. That's all.
Let's go next to Matt Derrick. Go, Matt.
Hey, Frank, you know, overall the pass rush through the first 9 games has ranked really high in the league as far as pressures go, but the sacks haven't always been piling up. Right. Is there anything you can kind of put your finger on there, or anything that you're worried about?
No, not at all. I ain't never worried about nothing like that. You know, like I said, I've been in positions before where it's like, man, I think last year I had like 2-3 sacks, probably 1 sack, probably none, like 6 games in the season. But I don't trip about the stuff like that. And I know my teammates ain't really tripping, especially Chris. You know what I'm saying? I'll put a lot on us because it's our defensive line. In reality, it's our defense. So it's you know, it's just us having to go. You know, a lot of things got to do with calls and stuff too. You gotta understand. I'm dropping more than I've usually dropped over the years. I'm doing a lot more dropping in coverage. It's a lot more checks that, you know, stop us from doing the opposing things. You know, you might be in a defensive call that get excited you pass rushing, but the offense might show you something else. They might show a screen look. We got a great defensive coordinator, so, you know, he's on top of things like that. And usually when he calls a play, it's putting you as a player in the right position to be successful. So can't be mad at that.
We've got 2 more left. We'll go with Blair and then Adam. Go ahead, Blair.
Hey, Frank, you played a team today that took a lot of risks. Fake punt, onside kick. They went for a few 4th downs and had some success against them. Is that a compliment to you guys that this is the way to beat the Chiefs? You've got to take some risks.
I don't know how to beat the Chiefs. I ain't played against them in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? But I know right now they just got to study. The more you study, the better you might, you know, the better chance you might have at beating us. You got to just study, work hard, and do all the little things, sort of like we do.
Let's go to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Frank, there was a question earlier about what your feelings were on whether you guys were productive in the pass rush this year. So how do you judge that? I mean, do you feel like because you guys are getting a lot of pressure without the sacks, that's still a productive year?
In short, we need more sacks. I want more sacks for my defensive line. We need way more sacks. It's not enough. I don't care if y'all getting a sack or two a game for a defensive line. Like, it's defensive lines out here that's not nearly as good as we are. You know, they get what they get. And there's no shade to nobody else, but it's just understanding who we got and what we got to work with. You know, we a team where we can easily have 5+ sacks a game, be leading the league in sacks. You know, but at the end of the day, like I said, everything's worked for a reason. You know what I mean? We're 8-1. 8-1 going into a bye week. You know, stuff like that don't happen often, especially in the professional football. We coming off a Super Bowl win. Got everybody telling us how they go beat us. We got all these reporters telling us how we not gonna do this, and we just out here having fun, ignoring it all. So, at the end of the day, I think that's what matters. It's just being able to silence that noise, man, that you go constantly get and stay on that journey. My journey coming back, go back to back. It wasn't to lead the league in sacks. It wasn't to lead our defensive unit, lead the team. You know, the team stats and sacks. It wasn't nothing like that. It was just simply go win my second championship, our second championship for 99% of you guys here.
Frank, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate y'all so much, man.
All right, guys. That's all we've got for today. We will see you at noon tomorrow